Hey everybody, Jay from This Week in Hearthstone. Audiopocalypse mini set came out a couple of days ago. Did anybody buy it? I'm sure many did. But for those of you who haven't yet, should you be buying this? Should you be spending the money on this? Some of these cards in the mini set are just not going to be used. So the idea is I went through, and this is obviously, it's only been a few days, but I'm looking at the percentage of, how many times these cards have been played and how many times these cards have been put into decks to see if maybe there's one or two that you should absolutely craft or one or two that you should try to get in packs before spending the money on the entire mini set. So I went through and I pulled this information from hsreplay.net. Obviously, HS Replay is the bomb. And to look at it, I just went through and sorted down with in percentage of decks. And it's very easy to see where the clear winners are right now. Hollow Hound. I am a big fan of dual class cards, and this right here, if you're able to buy this card, and it's a common card, and what I mean by that is, you're able to craft this card, a common craft that could be used in 2 different classes with this much power. It's a 6 mana lifesteal and rush to where also damages minions next to whoever this attacks. Why would you not craft this card? This would be immediately craft, especially if you're playing Hunter or Death Knight. Next one, Magatha, Bane of Music. When we first started talking about all these cards, I was like, why would this be used? I just didn't get it. I understand completely now. If you're running a deck with not a lot of spells, or if the spell synergy that's in your deck is already done, you throw this out and you have a 5 mana 5/5 on board that draws 5 cards. It's a great card draw mechanic right there. So I'm a big fan of this one. This one's in 5% of percentage of decks right now. Next one is Elite Tauren Champion. I love the animations of this card. I love how this card just, puts the opponent on notice immediately. So I like this one. I don't know if this one's a meta breaker, but I think this card is super fun. And the next one here, it's another dual class, and it works very well with Hunter and Death Knight. The first one with Hollow Hound, it's Yelling Yodeler. Battle Cry, trigger a friendly minion's death rattle twice. We will see this card often. There's a lot of good death rattle cards in Hunter. There's even better ones in Death Knight, so we will see this one absolutely. The last one here that I want to go over, Abyssal Bassist. It's a Demon Hunter and it's a warrior, and it's the 7 mana 4/7 with taunt and lifesteal. Cost 2 less for each weapon you've equipped this game. Both of those classes have a lot of weapon synergy, so it's very easy to get this one out and to keep that lifesteal train going, if you will. Going through the middle, there's 1% here, 2% here, but let me show you ones that are not really doing any good. Rhythm Dancer, Reese, I thought this one was going to be better. I still think we need to see some more seasoning, keeping these cards. They've only been there for less than a week, so let's give it some time. But I thought this would be in a lot more Demon Hunter decks, and it absolutely isn't. One Hit Wonder, I kind of understand why this is. Rogue isn't doing that great. Remixed Rhapsody, I didn't expect to see much of this in Demon Hunter decks, and it isn't yet. They just didn't find any use for it. And look, absolute almost last is Blood Treant. I looked at this card, 5 mana 2/2, which costs health instead of mana, and I was looking at it and saying, I see no use of this being played, at least for now. And you can see with a 0.2% placement rate, no one's using this. The last one, I was expecting that Grim Totem would be higher up on the play rates than Blood Treant, but it's a 4 mana 5/4 that's Battle Cry, discard a weapon to draw 3 cards. I see a little bit of utility, but I don't know. Putting this card in a deck of 30 cards, I can definitely see why it has a very low win rate, placement rate, excuse me. So that's it. It's obviously not fully fleshed out yet. This is going to change probably in 2 or 3 days. I'm going to keep on looking at this. I'm going to keep on seeing which cards are being in there. If you're playing if you're playing Death Knight and if you're playing Hunter, those two cards to craft, it would be an absolute necessity for you. I would absolutely consider crafting those two. Magatha's fun, Elite Tauren Champion's fun. There's going to be a couple more of these that pop up here and there. It's just they need some time to grow and to actually see some synergies put into other types of decks, and the meta always changes, so this is not going to be to where, hey, this is over with. But if you want to hold off on the mini set right now, just craft a couple of these cards and just hold off a little bit. I don't see it needing everybody needs to, buy this mini set. It's a fun mini set. I just don't see it yet. So hold off for a couple of days, see how the meta shapes up. That's it. That's all I have for this week. Please go ahead and like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more.